Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wagers on weekdays, February 25th, 2026. Happy to be with you. A lot happened last weekend, and looking forward to covering it, as well as a lot look forward to this weekend. And we're finally in my favorite part of the golf season, the Florida Swing. So, a little bit of an off week this week, though, but big events coming up. Bay Hill, one of my favorite courses and tournaments in the world, and then players right after that. And before you know it, we'll be talking about the azaleas going down Magnolia Lane, Augusta. Hello, friends. Can't wait. We've got a lot to cover. Going to get through it quicker today. Golf trip this weekend. So, of course, procrastinating. Need to get everything in order. So let's get to it. First up, were you up? Had to be. Who wasn't? United States wins the gold medal. Jack Hughes is the golden boy. Maybe the lead up. Maybe there's just been so many other tournaments, Four Nations, World Juniors. It just didn't fully resonate with me until the puck was in the net that it's been 46 years since the United States has won gold. 1980 Eruzione. It just it was a special moment. How can you not? How can you not, right? It's USA team, just dogs. Nothing but gritty dogs. They've shown that they can go toe to toe with Canada the last couple years in any sort of exhibition, quote unquote. That Four Nations loss was brutal. That was also in overtime. So sticking it back immediately a year after, when this one comes with a little medal action, oh, that makes it feel so much better. Where to begin? I mean, 18 for 18 in the entire play, killing off penalties. Bill Guerin, just the nutsack of a goddamn ironclad warrior, bringing the fourth line grinders, clearly paid off. And when we talk about MVP, Helly Buck, Helly, what the helly? This boy on his head. Post game goal expectations, Canada 5 goals. Post game goal expectation. You think of like Hasek getting acrobatic like that. Hellebuck obviously has had his trials and tribulations in the NHL as being one of the top goaltenders, if not the top goaltender, but just in the playoffs, not getting that run of like a goalie run playoff and getting benched last season. It's brutal, but talk about a guy that doesn't deserve it more, a team that doesn't deserve it more. Johnny Hockey. The story still just chokes me up to this day, over a year past, but him and his brother gone way too soon. This was a team that was, you don't like throwing around the cliche team of destiny, but this one just meant a little bit more because of that aspect. Having his family there, not a soul in your body if you weren't tearing up a little bit, seeing the reaction, and then having the kids come down and take a picture, as you see on the screen here. It's just what hockey culture is about. Team, family. USA winning is just, I think it's a new standard. I think the developmental program that they've invested in Ann Arbor and USA Hockey for the last 30 years, it's coming to a culmination of pulling even with Canada when it comes to these team events. Obviously, Canada is stacked nuts to butts. They're just always going to be loaded. But these USA guys just play together so well that it's tough not to see them as internationally dominant. the next couple years, next couple cycles of Olympic Games. So pumped. So pumped for America. Let's go. Come on, USA. Go USA. Let's go, boys. I mean, a lot of. Can we get some shots? We need to get some. That's on me for not having shot props, unders for some of these players. If the books will post them, I mean, just the scenes at 11, and then having to. Some of them go to the State of the Union, and games are starting tonight and tomorrow. Like just the toll on the body. Wonder if a couple of healthy scratches come out. We'll see. Unbelievable. Yeah, Olympics only every 4 years, and people hated on the Winter Olympics. We can recap that on the next show, but just a great nonstop. I mean, people fall in love with new sports, curling. There's less sports than the summer games, so it feels like it's easier to track and stay with. You're even watching figure skating. I guarantee you're watching with all the American talent there. A+ Winter Games, and A+ finish. Switching up gears. Who am I to pretend like my comment would mean anything? It's more of a to the dozens of viewers and subs that we are building at Axe Sports Nation. But seriously, more as a fan and a non-bot. Josh Pate's in the news this past week. If you're familiar with the college football landscape, which if you're listening here, you definitely are. Pate's had a meteoric rise. Definitely in the South as well. And the guy runs college football shows all year round. So you're saying, how did he make the news? Yeah, he's still talking ball. Good for him. But last week he reviewed a screenshot, as you see here, if you're watching. He had a sit down it was nothing more than 10 minutes or so with the President of the United States. And obviously a lightning rod, not just that position, but this particular president in the social media age is going to garner attention from the internet. And there's been some fallout and there's been some backlash. Although Pate will tell you it's just 90% bots. But here's where I felt I needed to just voice the opinion that I just haven't seen. And the reason I feel like a lot of people are kind of on the same page of the biggest clapbacks people have been talking about are, well, it's the President of the United States. Anyone's going to want to have an interview if they accept. And it's like, no shit. But here's the biggest problem. 2026, there is no shortage of any sort of content in any sort of way. Like I said, you've got me producing content weekly for a couple dozen subscribers, viewers that we're trying to build. There's tens of thousands of me, and not just in sports, in every facet. So when I subscribe to someone like Pate, and when I subscribe to someone in the college football landscape, yes, I expect you to stay in your lane and churn out college football content. Because if I wanted political content, I'm going to be able to get that in any fashion that I want, whether it's I agree or disagree. And here's why it's a big deal to me is that you cannot give an inch on that stance in any sort of content. You give an inch, next thing you know, favorite college football podcaster has some senator on, and we are fighting for a bill that gets any SEC team in the top 100 in the playoff. But seriously, no. It just brings out the drones and drones of politically obsessed weirdos and freaks into a space that you're trying to avoid. Politics are such a lightning rod in 2026, and truly just a dredge and swamp of nasty, ugly people that truly enjoy arguing and telling you how wrong you are about anything. And that's why this is a unsubscribable offense, because you just don't want it. It's not what's being asked for. Congrats to him for landing such a big interview. He'll probably be back. I will probably be back towards the beginning of college football season, but it's just not something, not looking to cross streams here to sum it all up. He'll be fine. But felt like that needed to be addressed. All right. So on to our more, let's say, golf-centric pod. Jacob Bridgman survives at Genesis, and looks like Tiger gave him the college football national championship. It's from that angle. I'll tell you what. Does it feel like this season has been like every time you turn around, it's like a runaway show? I mean, not really rooting against Bridgman, but I mean, coming into Sunday, we've had so many markets where we have to do betting without Rose, Scotty. Bridgman was 6-shot leader coming into this. So we'll see. We'll monitor that. California swing. I mean, people are very hit or miss on POA. It's a lightning rod. And we'll see. I don't want to be too critical of Genesis, but, because the weather was so unique this week. But, I mean, if that course is soft, that cannot be a playoff course. That course needs to be firm to show its teeth. They could grow out the rough in a playoff event to be a little bit more penal, but still, these guys are long enough now that if they're soft, receptive greens, it's going to go low again. He was flirting with the record and didn't break it, shockingly. But strong finish from Kitayama. McIlroy at a strong back nine. Just dopey front nine. And I tell you what, folks, if you're listening to this, you definitely gamble. You need to have at least a burner on Twitter following golf gambling, because there was a significant event that happened on Saturday, and some of the doldrums of Twitter were able to cash in on a unbelievably mispriced market. And you wake up Saturday, you check out. I mean, DraftKings is getting freaky with the bets that they're putting out there. And they put out a market of over-under birdies on hole number 10, drivable par 4. And it was laddered. It's unique. There was a cut, so there was only 51 golfers coming through. And the base was 18.5, plus 106. The pin is front left center. So it's gettable, but it is still kind of a very quick spot. You have to miss to the left, right, you're dead. That means you're out of pretty much birdie contention without a bomb. But you see this market, and they've never placed this before. You go to Twitter, you see a couple people talking, and you run the statistical model of that pin placement with a similar field count, and it was hitting at a rate that should have had the 18 over 18 and a half because there was no bad weather, right around minus 500, and they're giving us plus 106. So a collective that were able to catch this in the morning, I laddered it up to the highest they gave you was 24 and a half at plus 490. 23 and a half was plus 380 and so on. It got to 24, folks, with our leader Bridgman hammering a nice little 8-footer to get us to 24. 5 of 6 legs hit. It was a unbelievable win on the Twitter side. And then to try and get their lick back, DraftKings probably won't ever put that bet out there again, but they put the same exact odds out and the pin was in the back left. I think I saw that the over should have been like plus 1,000 at 18 and a half, something astronomical. So that exists out there. Great gambling weekend live. Our card, we had Scotty 5 units, our solo bullet. Man, his Thursdays, we'll see. Week off, gets back to Bermuda. Maybe it's just that Cali swing and the Amex really threw us off, but we'll see. I like him, and I really keeping my eye out on Xander's player odds. I might fire that before Bay Hill because I think he'll do pretty well at Bay Hill too, but we'll see. So yeah, great work, Bridgman. Let's go, COG. All right, this week's Make Your Golf Foursome, Build Your Golf Foursome pairings. Great reception last week to the celebrities, Pro-Am celebrities, AT&T. This week, in honor of spring training starting, I think we do a 2-part series here. Since they report first, let's do MLB pitchers and catchers. Now, obviously, all time, I mean, the pool is there is no limit to the foursome you could create with the amount of players that have come through. So a big time personal feel to how you would approach building your golf foursome pairing here. I took a splash of good golf mixed with chaos. Splash of good golf mixed with chaos. And I'll elaborate here, reveal this incredible graphic. Thank you, Gemini. Incredible golf, a stick, John Smoltz. Got to be in the foursome. You know, calling so many World Series now, you know, incredible pitcher on those Braves teams that were just mowing down divisions. And the guy's like a 1 handicap. So I think that's my partner for this foursome. But he's going to be able to just really talk about baseball historically, and we'll have some good stories if we can keep it together for the other two, because we're going to be having a little bit of fiesta. Got to have big, sexy Bartolo Colon in the cart. Pitchers and catchers, folks. Bartolo, I mean, what else can you say about the guy? Pitches until he's like 44. Just never interested once in cardio. How can you blame him? Just hurling W's. Have to imagine Electric City. Cigars, bombs. You know he's bombing it. You know he's bombing that. Guessing a big power draw. Gotta have Bartolo. And then finally, Shohei. Does he make both teams? Does he make field players and pitchers and catchers? We'll see. But everyone's favorite two-way superstar, maybe the GOAT of baseball, is a little bit of a gambler. He's a bit of a gambler, folks. And we're very pro gambling on the course at this outlet. So if he has to bring the interpreter along and we get a third cart, maybe everyone just has their own cart in this one. A lot of big names here. But if we're having, I mean, we might have money down every hole between the foursome. We might be looking at live bets. Might be looking at Korean baseball futures. Get into that market. And then, of course, I wasn't really able to see any actual tracking of this. Not sure if he's ever swung a golf club in his life. But this guy's going to be just sick. Just a natural athlete. Probably 320 down the pipe. Plays golf twice a year. I mean, that's an elite pitchers and catchers foursome. Sorry, excluded catcher. Joe Mauer. Little lefty stick. Pretty good. Mike Schmidt. Big time golfer. Pudge. Pudge would be an electric factory. I'm sure Brzezinski would just be an absolute pest on the course. So maybe get a little bit of animosity in there. Throw Brzezinski in there. Who knows? Tell you who we wouldn't be inviting. Alex Avila. Overstayed welcome on the Tigers. Way too long. Sorry, pot shot at the end. Yeah, next week we'll just do MLB field players. There's one that sticks out. Checks all the boxes. No longer with us, but we'll definitely be on the foursome. All right. Always a great segment. Let me know who you think you would want to be in your foursome with and what course you'd play. Shit. Why not? Why not? Looks like Gemini gave me a little Harbor Town action. I love it. All right. Let's go to the COG. COG preview. It's COG time. Okay, there we go. You know what? Let's just fuck it. We're not going to share the screen. Let's just show the card. Yeah. Listen, it's an interesting field. Bridgman pulls out. Adam Scott pulls out. We got a lot of guys just kind of skipping after a nice little showing on the West Coast swing. It's tough. Hat reveal. Wearing the Cognizant Classic hat. Acquired 2 seasons ago. When Ekro won, I was not there for Ekro winning, but did follow around Kisner for a little while. And Lowry. I think. Yeah. Yep. And that was the year Rory played. I mean, this is all just it's literally right in their backyard. Family lives in Jupiter. Just took an Uber back to their place. It was a 20-minute Uber. I mean, this is a incredible venue when they're not overseeding it. Last couple of years, they've overseeded, and these boys have been attacking. I mean, 6 under used to win you here. I mean, there used to be like +5 cuts. That's what you need kind of midseason. It's just like a real challenge of golf. And, seeing the weather at Genesis turn into like just a dart show, it can get a little exhausting, and you understand why PGA, maybe wants to switch up venues here and there and, kind of adjust the schedule. Because there just needs to be challenges in golf, but it also, on the other hand, every course cannot be a challenge. I mean, it would completely wear out these guys, and they're going to play less and less. So there does have to be birdie fest as well. COG is going to be another birdie fest this week. Defending champ Joe Highsmith, 330 to 1. 330. I think he's like eighth to the bottom. How is that not worth a sprinkle? Guy just catches fire twice in a row. He was last person to win on the cut line, coming back from the cut line. I mean, his weekend last year was just insane. Made the cut on the number, comes back and wins it. Last year, Jake Knapp shoots an opening 59. Can't hold him off. Knapp pulled out. It's tough. Playing really, really well, so he's definitely earned a break. But the biggest news is that Brooks is playing. And that falls right under my card. From everything, all reports of people that have walked the course, it's firm, it's fast, it's gettable. There's going to be like these weird chips and everything. But at the end of the day, Brooks Koepka is on my card as my biggest bet for the week outright. For one reason and one reason only. Sometimes you just got to pick the biggest dog in the yard. I know Lowry's there. No disrespect to Lowry. Gerard's playing really well. But we've got Brooks as our main piece, and we've got a couple other longer shot guys to sprinkle the infield. But this is a situation where I feel Brooks has taken 2 weeks off. He's been at this course. I mean, it's literally, like I said, 20, 30 minutes away from his house, grinding, new putter. And you have to feel a guy with that caliber and pedigree wants to be playing signature events and wants to get off of this side of the tour as fast as possible. And for a guy that has faced criticism in the past for being motivated to play golf during the year when it's not a major involved, I think that this is how you get him motivated. It's put him in a place he doesn't want to be. So, and the reason I'm saying all that is because he doesn't pop well on the model. And that's the only reason I'm taking him, is on pure will and dog. The guys that pop on the model are the long shots that we're going to rip. Nico Echeverria. We're looking for guys that are going to be good tee to green, good approach. I like a little bit of scrambling. Birdie or better percentage, bogey avoidance, always huge. But when it's going to be a scoreable track, you want that bogey avoidance, especially. One thing California didn't have that we're going to get a lot in the Florida swing, water. A lot more opportunities for penalties here. Something to keep an eye out. Seamus Power playing well, striking the ball really well. Like recent success, 80 to 1 for Seamus on Caesars. Mac Meisner also playing well. He had a, I think, T2 finish here. And Zach Bouchow, one of the longer dogs, 175 to 1. If this tournament's going to churn out long shot winners, we got to throw a dart at one of them. And he just feels like this rookie has shown enough life to throw a dart. But again, and that's each way for both of them. Each way markets, because I do think Brooks will win. And then I've got a few long shot place bets that I'm going to be putting in. Snedeker pairs well for this course. As spot starts, I like him T20, 10 to 1. Andrew Putnam likes this track. Game's in good shape. Played well in Cali. I like him T20 at 5 to 1. And I like him 26 to 1, top 5. This is with ties. Just a half unit on that one. Højgaard, Nikolai, pops in all of my models. Way too big of a favorite on golf Twitter. Everyone that I've seen is backing Højgaard, so I do like him top 10 plus 215, but in stroke gain golf personalities betting him, that's why I'm just not taking him outright. It's Sam Ryder, also a fan of this course. Top 30 is plus 240. A guy that can get it going at courses he fits. Why not? No matchups. If we've gone exactly 500 in matchups the first 6 weeks of the season. Insane. Go 2-2 again last week. So instead of throwing darts at a bunch of guys that aren't playing weekly or in SIG events, we're going to my favorite market. You'll start to love this market the more and more we follow. Par 3 winner. We're getting close. Last week we were close with Knapp, par 5s. He was 2 back, but Bridgman just ran away with it. And then Ryan Fox destroyed the par 3s last week. I think he won by 3 in the par 3 market. Billy Ho. Saw him in person. Birdie a couple par 3s last year. That's all I need. Dumbest bet of my week, but that's a feel bet. Seabez does pop more. Putts well, really well on Bermuda. And approach game has looked well. Birdie or better percentage. He's on the higher end. Like Seabez. Bezadenhout. 63-1 par 3 market. This is only on DraftKings. Under tournament, par 3 winner, par 4 winner, par 5 winner. Don't bet par 4. It's too much of the tournament. No, thank you. Par 5. This is where we're taking Nikolai. He did really well. I think he was tied second in par 5s at Waste Management when we had Thigala up there. Nikolai 49-1. Why do you need him to win? Just win the par 5s, baby. And then Mac Meisner. Give me a piece of that. I think he's second in stroke gain par 5. Last 100 rounds. Or no, last 24 rounds. And great driver of the golf ball. So that's our card this week. COG preview is going to be great. We'll be down in Florida as well. Tampa way. That's going to be fun. Weather looks great. A little windy further south this weekend, but everything I saw is nothing crazy when it comes to Florida golf. Gusts not even getting to 20 miles an hour. These guys are used to that and should stay dry after a wet couple days pre-week and cold too. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking a lot about Arnold Palmer next week. Also, what else are we talking about? Whatever the hell comes up, that's what. Your boy hit King of the Court last night, so I've got a ton of bonus bets to give out. Hit Paolo Banchero, the last game of the night. He saves the best for last in LA, in Showtown. Showtime. He hits $810. Placed a $5 bet on Paolo. I get $810 in bonus bets. Incredible. So pumped. Yeah. So we'll talk about those bonus bets. Can't wait. We'll recap the golf and we'll prep Arnold Palmer. Awesome. Have a great weekend, guys. See you back here on Monday, our first Monday show. All right. Love you. Bye.